Hello, Rick here once again. You can't get rid of me. As Starfleet uniforms seem to be on people's, well, my mind of late, I thought I'd put together a quick breakdown of my subjective favourite designs from Star Trek canon. Well, some ground rules first. I've limited myself to the number of hero uniforms, and by that I mean the main series outfits, otherwise this list would consist of 4 to 5 obvious choices. And for the sake of diversity, I've pulled designs from some more obscure places, but these are all ones that are featured in the primary canon, and by that I mean the TV show, so unlike my top 10 Federation ships vid, I won't be choosing from the never-ending supply of memory beta style content, even though there are designs out there that I really do like. So, first off, let's throw out a couple of honourable mentions that almost made the list. The 2255 Starfleet Discovery uniforms. Listen, I really like the look of this design. The neat trim, the collar, the emboss lined with the delta patterns. I enjoy the use of the bluish silver for sciences, bronze for ops. But it doesn't get a place on this list in earnest because although it screams sci-fi to me, it doesn't feel very Star Trek. Maybe that'll change, maybe not, but either way. Next up, 2360's Voyager. Very close to another choice on my list, and I debated for some time whether or not to include this in its place. To me, it reflects the era of Star Trek I grew up watching, but as mentioned, I'm trying to limit myself to the number of main series uniforms. But with the honourable mentions out of the way, let's get on to the list with an immediate curveball. At number 6, the 29th century Starfleet outfit. The crew of the USS Relativity were seen wearing this uniform in the Voyager episodes, and the asymmetric design stuck with me. The muted colour scheme shows that the colour divisions have once again been swapped around, with the command being blue, sciences grey, and ops being brownish. The Starfleet badge too looks pretty cool with the delta flipped on its side, and all in all, I feel that the redesign is appropriate for a Starfleet that's now exploring time as well as space. But, next on the agenda, the 2230's Kelvin timeline uniform. Now, I've mentioned this uniform a lot, as I've come to respect the redesign of the 2254 Cage era uniform, which in my opinion was a little too simplistic. The addition of the piping but maintaining the colour scheme of just 2 divisions was a good nod to the original series, and in my mind stands out as a good example of how to do a reimagining properly. Say what you like about the rest of the Kelvin universe, but I think that the uniforms did Star Trek justice. 2151, the excursion uniform from Enterprise. Now, on seeing Star Trek Enterprise, I quickly came to appreciate how different the jumpsuit design looked from any Starfleet uniform I'd seen before. It feels more like a utility outfit to me, and somehow that suits the era. But the exploration variant makes them look more like rough and ready explorers. Seen in desert environments most often, this simple khaki coloured design to me, reflects the era of exploration and the unknown, whereas your dress blues aren't always going to be practical. It also comes with a matching pocketed jacket for a +3 to your carry weight. (2260's classic original series. Oh, come on. It had to be on here, didn't it? It's colourful, clear, and it set the foundation for Star Trek designs, hell, sci-fi designs in general. All the ideas can be found stemming from this original design, badge, rank, division, all elements that can be summed up at a glance without having to awkwardly fish for information. And it shows that Starfleet was trying to create something that didn't resemble a purely military armada. It's a shame though that the captain's uniforms seem to be made from a lot less sturdy material. I'd also like to add that the Kelvin redesigns again appeal to the nostalgia in me, but they maintain a direct familiarity with the original design. That they wouldn't exist without the original, hence the reason it's at number 3. The Starfleet Red Military Tunic 2286, a personal favourite of mine. The military style tunic was something I enjoyed seeing in films, and to me it was more official, scientific, militaristic take on the uniform. All that stuff I said about Starfleet not wanting to appear militaristic, but, well, I like the designs. The fold-over tunic again appeals to my sense of asymmetry, and I did like the complex little insignia that denoted rank and the variety of undershirt designs, even if that meant you needed a small handbook to decipher who did what and where aboard ship. And finally, moving on to number 1. 2373 saw the introduction of the first contact uniform /DS9. This is why I didn't include the Voyager one on my list. Out of the two, they are very similar, however this one edges it out for me. The tone of the uniform reflects a darker time for the Federation, and would look out of place on the bridge of Next Generation episodes like the Enterprise D. The undershirt retains the division colour, with the classic pips laying out the rank. Over it all is this jacket with textured shoulders that gives it a tougher, action-ready look. While earlier designs may look the part on the bridge of a starship, they don't always look as though they'd be practical on the ground. The 2370 variant suits both, and in my nerdy, unfashionable opinion, when dishevelled, adds a layer of badassness. So those are my top 6 designs. Of course, I do like the original TNG looks, amongst many others, and there are so many more out there that belong to specialisations and the like. Especially designs from other species that I think are pretty cool, but this list was just for the ones that we see on the screens, and just Starfleet. So what do you think? Agree with my choices? Disagree with my choices? What's your favourite design? And what would the next Starfleet uniform look like if Garrick was allowed to design it? Comment below and I'll be sure to read them. Thanks for listening to my ramblings, and until next time, I've been Rick, and I'll see you again later. Goodbye.
I think I'm going to like history.